Okay, I was just having a bit of a ramble through my head, and what I think this is something I brought up in another video, but I'm going to bring it up again here. By the laws of biology, and that I know of physics, when a life form dies, and this is purely scientifically speaking, when a life form dies, that which made it as a person, it is an individual thoughts, even animals, not all but most, have other intelligence. That just fades away because it was just a bunch of electrical impulses. Now, while this is true, what happens to that electricity? If all that we are is static electricity, or a current of electricity running through the water and flesh of our bodies, of our brains, where does that go? Because by the laws of physics, energy is neither energy nor mass can be either created or destroyed. It's only ever transformed. That might be a little bit of a misquote. You can correct me if you like, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is. What happens to us? What happens to the soul? Is probably the right word. The spirit. Some people say the soul and the spirit are two different things. By my beliefs, I'm not sure that's true. Now, where does that go? By Old Norse standards, it goes from life round to death, and then crosses over the void before beginning the cycle anew. And I believe there is some validity through that kind of logic with the framework of science, with the framework of physics and biology, that reincarnation is possibly a thing. But to me, it's more likely than going to see some great man in the sky. Now, you can believe in the sky gods if you like, or the monotheistic god. I don't care. To me, it's the ancestors that I pray to, and to the elements. It's as an individual to the elements that make up the forces that make up our reality. Not on a decent, but the basic elements in through symbolism. So, where does the electricity go? Back to the original question. Where does the spirit go after we die? there are many different views on the subject. Again, you have the cycle, you have the heaven, hell, purgatory thing. I think it's purgatory. It's the third place, limbo, whatever. I forgot what it is for the Hindi side of things, but you know what I mean. Yeah, every culture has its own view of what happens after we die, and a lot of atheists believe nothing happens after we die. You know, we just cease to be. But scientifically, that's not possible. If all that we are is the electricity running through our brains, and electricity cannot be destroyed, where does that electricity go? Now, true, the data stored in the neurons, but again, it can be boiled down to an even purer form. Information is never created or destroyed. Where does the information go? I think this was one of the conundrums about the arguments. One of the arguments about black holes. What happens if physics says that information can neither be created or destroyed? Where does it go when it hits a black hole? The answer is it's not destroyed. I don't fully understand the process myself, but the gist I get is that it is not destroyed. It is redistributed elsewhere. Now, there is a web of invisible electricity running all around our planet. Whether it's in the ground or in the air, or in water. So what's to say at least some of the stories of hearing voices on phones or on the radio or on the static on old TVs isn't at least somewhat true? Some of these urban stories, most of these stories are absolute fucking bullshit. Don't get me wrong, but possibly maybe there are a few that are not bullshit. I've experienced some strange things myself. So, you know, there's still yet much for us to discover about the reality around us. And I very much doubt we're going to be finished discovering this stuff for a while yet if we can stop trying to annihilate ourselves. So yeah, my thoughts on death. You know, I don't fear it, not really. I'd like to remain living alive, but I don't necessarily fear death. I fear pain, being in constant pain. I think it's a reasonable thing to fear. But I don't fear death. Because it's just a part of the cycle, isn't it? And I think that kind of social thought process, cultural thought process, it can run across several cultures. Cycle, represented in different forms, but it's always I could be well off the mark, but this is how I frame my thoughts. This is how I frame my beliefs. I don't take an opinion and then, believing it's true, try to prove that it's true. I'll look to see if it's wrong, or no. I look to see the facts about it. If someone tells me something, I don't just assume that it's automatically correct. I'll go and find the truth of the matter. The facts of the matter, I should say. Because supposedly everyone has their own individual truth, so fuck it. And I don't believe in there's no such thing as fake facts. There are facts and then there are lies. Trump is an asshole for adding that kind of rhetoric and or at least making that rhetoric more prominent or prevalent. But it's interesting, is it not? Where does the electricity go that makes up our thoughts, makes up who we are, scientifically speaking? Where does it go? Just a bit of question. I can't prove any of it. Not yet, at least. Not entirely sure how I can prove it yet. But to me, this seems to be the most logical outcome. Is that it doesn't disappear. And not all... It doesn't always go... in nature, nothing ever is completely organised. There is always some chaos, so there are always anomalies. So possibly, maybe when people hear these spirits or these voices, yes, they could just be hearing stuff, or they could be hearing the anomalies that not necessarily broke free of the cycle, but were kind of shunted out of the cycle. No, it's possible. Let me know what you think. I thought this was an interesting subject. Plenty of places to go research. Just got to be willing to go and do it. Hello, Lady Sif. That's Lady Sif. Hello, my little lady. What are you doing? Don't send. You can't see me. What are you doing? Yeah, my panic rat. So yeah, I hope everyone's having a good evening. Oh, yeah, we've got awake rats. Hello. What are you up to? What are you doing? What are you up to? Yeah. Hope everyone's having a good evening. Har en god kväll. Blessed Thursday. En shada wita.